Oh, is it Saturday night yet? Is it Saturday night? Is it Saturday
It
night?
is Saturday night.
I get excited. Yeah, I get my new nervous tick going. Sometimes I clap and then bump hands, you know. It's like giving myself knuckles, you know. Only it's thumbs. Hope everybody's doing good. Happy Saturday night. Who have we got? This little guy, anybody in the room yet? Okay, well, welcome, folks. Whether you're there or not, welcome anyway. My brother Doug, my sister-in-law Shar. Good evening.
Joshua Maxwell.
Joshua Maxwell. Hey, man.
Janice.
Janice. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Hope you guys have had a great week. I really do. It's been a kind of a long week for me in the ways, but I am in a super great mood. I'm really stoked about some things that are coming up and so forth, and I'll fill you guys in here in a little bit. I'll wait till we get a few more folks in the room.
Natalie's here saying hello from her last break at work.
Hello, Natalie, from her last break at work. Welcome. I know we'll see you a little bit later. Doing some chicken tonight. Miso chicken. Never really even heard of it until like a couple of weeks ago when it came up on the spinner. I have no idea what it tastes like. I looked a little bit online and I saw there's like white miso and this other red, right?
Yeah.
Red miso. And all I could find was the red. So I hope, I don't know if I'll like it or if I won't, but I'm making it. I'm sorry? Miguel? Good evening, Miguel. As always, I want to know what you guys are having, and I'll get to what I'm finishing up with. Definitely, we're going to have the chicken, and I'm also going to make some fried ramen to go with it. I'll throw in some veg, and I'm going to make some dessert again. It's worked out the last couple of weeks or so to make some dessert, and this week I'm going to make a twist on the old tradition of bananas Foster. I'm going to make peaches Foster for our dessert tonight. So, yum! Peaches are in season, and it's a great time to do this dessert. So that, and I really don't like bananas all that much. That's funny because I like banana flavored things. You know, like banana bread and banana cream pie and stuff like that, but I don't like to eat a banana. I think it's the texture that bothers me. Anyway, got a few veggies to go in this, in my fried ramen. Just add some colored peppers and some onion. I'll probably throw in a little bit of mixed veg just for the sake of eating some vegetables and the color. Like the color too. I need a drink. Better. Now I think this was requested by, don't tell me, Brandi. Right. And I really, seriously, have never really heard of miso chicken at all, or the paste. I did look to see what's in it, and I don't see anything in there that freaks me out, but it's something completely new to me. And so, Janice, let me ask you.
She just said.
Huh?
She just said.
What?
Red miso is fermented longer and has a stronger flavor.
Yeah, I was going to ask it. Well, okay. Have you personally used it, Janice? I'm just curious if you have, if you think that somebody that has never tried it before, what they're going to think of. I'm really curious and a little bit nervous. This is my dinner.
Jared Tierno and Ralph are both here.
Hey guys, good evening. I'm sorry, now who? Ralph and who?
Jared.
Jared. Hey Jared, good evening. Welcome you guys. Happy Saturday. Hope you both had a great week. And now I got to know, okay, we got a few of us in here. I'm making the miso chicken. What do you guys have?
Lisa.
Hi Lisa. Good evening, good evening.
Ralph said he's got a lot of things to do today, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
He might not be here long.
That's okay. Ralph, I appreciate you just popping in and saying hey. So, stay for a few minutes, so much the better. Okay. So I'm just wondering, Janice, what you think of, if somebody that's never had it before is going to be freaked out by the red, because we looked for white,
Yep.
but we couldn't find it anywhere. We didn't. Of course, there was no local Asian markets or anything like that to go to. So
Yep.
not without driving about 80 miles.
You drove 50 to get that almost.
Really, really. All right. By the way, can you guys hear that fan? I got a fan going. If that's making a weird noise in the background, let me know and we can turn it down a notch.
Joshua Maxwell said that his mom made pizza dough from scratch.
Yay!
So pepperoni pizza.
Awesome.
Jared had meat lovers pizza.
Nice.
Sean and the Pax here.
Hey, Sean. Good evening, man. Hey, I hope things are going well for you. I really do. I guess we got a few of you here, so I just want to mention something now. One of the things that's really been taking up a lot of my time, especially these last, 2 weeks, was I've been working on a radio theater program for my channel, and it's been kind of a slow process. And a couple of weeks ago, I actually got my cast together, and we did a recording, and I'm happy to say that my first radio theater program will be premiering on Monday evening. That's this coming Monday in the evening, and I think I have that time set for 7 p.m. my time. So I hope to see some of you guys there. It's been a big project. Something I've never done before, and I plan on doing more. In fact, I've already got stages going for the next one. So big news for me. I'm super stoked.
Eli's here.
Eli, good evening. So, Old Guy Radio Theater is now officially a thing. Well, I guess it will be Monday.
Janice says it's sort of an odd, funky taste.
Unami?
Is probably the best description. Taste a bit before you use
Okay. That scares me.
it.
That
Joshua
scares me.
says we appreciate you, old guy. No need to justify yourself.
Well, I just like people to know that it's not a matter of neglect, but I understand what you're saying. I really don't think that's what I'm doing. All right, just going to cut up a little bit of each one of these colors. And I'll dice up a little bit of onion to go with it. And this will go in the fried ramen. I'm not too big of a hurry, so gonna kind of dink around a little bit tonight.
Joshua said that's awesome. Okay, can't wait for your videos.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. Definitely. All right. Trying to pay attention to what I'm doing down here. Don't want to end up cutting my fingers or something.
No.
I hate it when I do that. It's like many years ago, I blew out one of my stomach muscles moving 50-pound bags of potatoes, and hurt like heck when it popped out. So I went to the doctor, and showed him what happens when I made a tried to tense up my what was 6-pack turned into a 5-pack with a big old knot right over on this side. And I told him, man, it really hurt when I did that. And he always said when I always wanted to hear a doctor say, he was kidding me. He said, then don't do that. I thought that was great. He made my day. That's all right. Do the onion here real quick. I'm a little scared now, Janice. All right. Let's just see here. How bad can it be? I guess if I don't like it, I can still do something with this soy sauce and stuff. And this will probably find a nice home in a trash can somewhere.
Janice said that I think it tastes a bit like mild Vegemite.
I'm not a fan of Vegemite at all.
Joshua says, old guy, what's your favorite Italian dish to get, not cook? His is lasagna.
My favorite one to buy, not to make. Well, I don't know if I should give you my favorite or my most common, because they're both completely different. I mean, if I'm going to a sit-down restaurant, I really like a good ravioli. So I will order that at an Italian restaurant before I would order spaghetti or a lot of the other, although I do love gnocchi.
Janice said, try a really small amount. The paste is concentrated. Ralph says, do you guys have Vegemite over there? I thought it was more in Aussie thing.
It is, but yeah, we have it here. Vegemite and Marmite, Marmot. This is actually a Marmot that they cream up and that doesn't smell as bad as I thought it might. Yeah, try it. Why not?
Joshua said, old guy, use that miso curry.
I'm gonna try it. I'll get to mixing it up. I wrote down a little recipe since I've never used it before. I thought I'd write down a little something as some notes. All right, get this into a bowl and out of my way.
Sean said, pasta carbonara with garlic butter, steamed asparagus, and lemon pepper chicken breast for a meal. One of those things.
That sounds great. If that's a request, just let us know. This old guy, we'll write it down.
That's what he's having.
What's that?
That's what he's having.
That's what he's having? Oh, I thought that was a suggestion because it sounds delicious. It does. It sounds great. All right.
Well, maybe it is a request because he said it's one of these times. Or a meal one of these times.
Okay, here you go. This little guy is writing it down. Let's put this little bit of peppers away over here. I'm gonna really try not to destroy the place like I did last week. Wow, what a mess! I just kind of shook my head. Thought, well, you can go ahead and go to bed, Mrs. Old Guy. I'll be up till 1. No, I'm just kidding. Wasn't that bad. Okay. Well, I'll pull my little note over here. So based on what Janet said, based on the recipe here,
Sean said that was definitely a request.
I'm going to get this miso going. Now it says 2 tablespoons. I imagine that's for somebody that's really used to it. Whatever. So I'm going to reduce that down to like, I don't know, a teaspoon. What do you think? 1 or 2, Janice? Help me on this one. 1 or 2 teaspoons of the red miso. At first it smells, yeah, kind of funky. And then after a minute, you kind of get used to that smell and you can start to smell some soy, the ginger. Not sure what else I smell in there. Maybe that, whatever it was, the yeast extract or whatever the heck it is. So I'm going to wait for Janice's answer on this one. Just, just as an opinion, Janice. I know you're not, like the miso expert or anything. I'm not saying it. I just curious,
I think 2 would probably be okay.
All right. That handles that. Miso. Well, this is going to determine whether or not this gets finished or not.
Okay.
We'll see where it ends up. Okay, so some soy sauce, I got that. That's the easy part. Tablespoons. Now, the recipes I was looking at called for either skinless, boneless chicken or like bone-in chicken thighs. And that's okay. But I thought I would go ahead and do a Cornish hen. So I'm going to cut it in half and I'll use this to cover it with and do it that way instead of the thighs. Okay, so let's see here, a little bit of sesame seed oil. Got a buddy of mine coming over tomorrow, so I'm going to throw a tri-tip in the smoker. That's going to be delicious. Something going on there, Mrs. Old Guy?
I was just seeing what he was barking at.
Ah, okay.
Neighbor's crusher.
Okay, so a teaspoon of this. A little sesame seed oil there. Love this stuff.
says that they often use miso as a soup base.
Hmm. I saw that on the package. Kind of gave instruction how to use it for that.
Ralph says, I wonder if people would still slice their fingers if they had a knife blade that gave electric shocks.
Probably. Probably cut their knife. Probably cut themselves even worse.
Joshua says, you're like a mad scientist and the kitchen is your lab.
Oh yeah. Well, not too mad. You know, I mean, I do try to follow some of the rules.
Janice told Ralph, I think they end up cut up and shocked.
Okay. Some crushed red pepper.
He likes some kind of chutney, but
He's outside. I got a treat here for him when he comes in later. If he comes in. It's a nice day out. So the door's open, so doggy door is the thing. I totally forgot to buy, yes, I know, my fresh ginger for this, so I'll have to substitute a little bit of powder.
Crazy Dad shows here.
Crazy Dad!
The Crazy Dad crew is here. Hello, friends.
Hey guys! Trying this stinky miso. Something I've never had before, and I'm just kind of putting this recipe together. Trying to get this sauce ready to go. You smear it on the chicken and bake it. So we'll see how well this goes. Ginger. Heck, let's have some fun. Oh, a little bit more. Ginger. And let's see. Garlic. Got it in front of me. It's a good thing too, or I'd just forget everything. Okay. Clove of garlic. Come on. There we go. No, it said some mirin. I don't have it. I'm not a fan of putting a lot of vinegar and stuff, so I'm going to add just a little less than called for.
REA Junior Music. Hey Tom, do you follow recipes or just go for it?
Most of the time I just go for it. This time because I've never had it before, I'm kind of following mostly a recipe that I saw online. And welcome. Welcome. I think this is the first time you've joined Old Guy for Saturday night in my kitchen.
Like last week, I think.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Because I said his name wrong.
I'm a basket case, so lucky I can even remember last week. I'm not even sure I can now. Okay.
Dad says sounds interesting.
Okay, so I got the soy, the sesame seed oil, the crushed red pepper, the ginger. I got the garlic. Looks like I got everything in there. So I'll mix this up. And then I'll get the chicken out here. I suppose I should probably marinate it for a few minutes too. In fact, I think it says to do that. Go figure. Get that mixed around. Let's see. Okay. Doesn't smell too bad at all. It smells like it could use maybe a little sweetness, but I'm gonna go grab a chicken. Bye. See you guys later. Did you miss me?
Okay.
Okay. So, got the little Cornish game in here. They use the nuclear plastic for these bags. I'm just going to cut this in half. And, come on. That'll be a serving for each of us. Come on.
John's here.
Hey, John. Hey, howdy. Just getting ready to cut up this little Cornish game hen. Wave hi to the folks. All right. Should have put my gloves on first, huh?
Yeah.
That's how I roll. Backwards. Do it just exactly opposite of how I should. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, this first of my radio theater programs is called The George and Pudgy Show. Comedy from like the 1940s, roughly. And like I said, that does premiere this Monday, 7 p.m. Colorado time. So you need to just adjust that for wherever you are in this world. All right. Geez, that was easy, huh? I still didn't put them on, so now I'm just not even going to bother using them. Boy, I tell you, if I had a brain, it would be dangerous.
John says he has jury duty on Monday.
Jury duty? No. I don't know what to say. Have a good time. I've gotten the notices to serve on jury duty, I don't know how many times over the years, at least a dozen. But every single time the case was handled or whatever and didn't have to go.
Yep. Same one with me. Never had to go.
Okay, I want to dry the bird a little bit. Hopefully this will stick some. Seems kind of liquidy, and maybe if I had the like the ginger, crushed ginger or whatever, it might have helped. But that's okay. Dry that bird. One more. It's going to be, I hope, good. I'm excited for it. Something new. That's part of the reason why Mrs. Olga Guy and I decided to do this. On Saturday nights, It gives us a chance to try something new. It gets us out of the humdrum of the same old thing all the time. Woo! Yeah, that's some hot water. Okay. So the chicken's cut. The sauce is made. Janice, before I dump this on, let me ask you: is it common for this to have any kind of sweetness to it at all, or is it just completely savory?
Scott's here.
Hey, Scott. I'm just getting ready to dump this miso sauce on here. Kind of waiting to see what Janice says because I'm thinking about adding a little bit. I think a few sesame seeds would hurt.
John says he's having chicken pot pie from Marie Callender's.
Yeah, Marie Callender's chicken pot pie.
T-Bird's here.
T-Bird! Hey, man. I hope your summer goes well. It's been, I know we've had some hot ones on this side, so I imagine on your side of the state you've also had some crispy days.
Ralph said, if you grow a beard, then you get challenged every time, and it's easy money.
Grow a beard?
So what is that?
Get challenged to grow a beard? No. There's got to be something more to that, Ralph. You're leaving me hanging there, buddy.
I guess T-Bird, nuts. He says, cheers, Mr. and Mrs. Oldtimer.
Well, cheers. I'm going to add some. I don't care. Maybe it's going to
She
make...
said the mostly savory. The marinin, however, is slightly sweet.
Okay.
M-I-R-I-N?
The mirin, yes, is slightly sweet. The wine, the rice wine. So I put in just a little dab of sugar there. That was like half a teaspoon, I think.
Scott said they have wildfires in the Police Smoky there. It's contained, though, they said.
Well, that's good. That is really good. We had some fires, fortunately not very big, and just right across, really right across the street.
Yeah, across the highway.
Across the highway here, there's a ridge, and there's an open coal seam that there's been a fire burning for a long time, and every once in a while, it makes it to the surface. And finally had a use for the gloves. Get this
John
chicken.
said pineapple upside down cake for a dessert.
The only problem with that for a dessert, then I don't have a problem with it. Well, kind of. I don't really like pineapple upside down cake, but that's not the point. The point is that desserts like that would be difficult for me to make and eat in the same live stream. You know, cakes have to bake, then they got to cool down. Some things, though, you can eat warm.
Scott said underground coal fires work for you.
Yes, they do. Where is that town in Pennsylvania? I don't remember the name of it. They had to empty the city because there was, tunnels going under the city everywhere, and it caught on fire. So the whole town was just filled with poisonous gas. That sounds like my brother Earl.
Scott says, do you need to buy certain gloves for cooking, or will normal latex gloves be okay?
Regular old latex gloves are just fine. Yes, they are.
Ralph said, sorry, the last message about the beard was delayed, but in reference to the jury duty, they take one look at me, and it's back to the bench.
Oh, I see. With your beard, yes. You can sit down, sir. That makes it easy. We don't want you or your kind on this jury. Have a nice day. Ouch. Let's get this. Something that might help. Turn the oven on. Wash them anyway.
Scott said the video game Silent Hill was based on the city in Pennsylvania that had to be evacuated because of coal fire.
Right. Yep. Yeah. I've never played the game. I've seen it. Tried playing it a couple of times, but I've seen the movies.
Eli said that he just picked up some OG to watch OG.
Ooh, sweet! You're double OG and I'm getting down on the double OG. Hey, that sounds like, that could be turned into some kind of... Okay, and that's for my notes over there.
Scott says, have you ever been on jury duty, Tom? I got stuck on one for a month.
No, I never have. I've been called for jury duty, like I said, at least a dozen times. But, every time I've called, there's a little thing on the notice that they send you to call a particular number X amount of days before the case, and it'll let you know whether or not you are to go, or and whatever instructions. And every time I've called, they said nope. That case has been whatever. You don't have to report. It's like, oh. So, never actually had to serve.
T-Bird said that he told jury duty, I am a felon and I was wearing a helmet. And I was wearing a helmet.
Yep. Well, yep, that'll do it too. If it ever came down to it, I'd probably just tell them the same. All right, little spray on there. I don't want that to stick to that. Bang. All right. We'll let that sit for a couple minutes. The fried ramen, that won't take terribly long. I can start that later. So, another project that was on my to-do list this year, there was a gate between our house and the garage. Not real wide, maybe 3.5 feet or so. As an entrance or a way to get to the coal chute to, bring coal in for the coal-fired furnace. And we don't use it anymore. So I decided that I was tired of that gate, and I wanted our backyard to be a little more secure and whatnot. There's crazy people everywhere, so for a little added security, I want to take that gate out and just create a wall there. It took a good portion of the summer to finally get to it, and it's almost done, so yet another to-do project in the works and almost finished. Jared had asked, and I guess I didn't post for anybody that was interested. I never did post a video of the garage after I totally got it finished up. And so I told Jared that I'm going to make a quick video. And I'm just going to do it the way my garage is right now. It is, to say a mess, would put it politely. Yeah. There is bits of wood and sawdust, and everything's in total disarray. that's what happens. And that's how my shop usually is. So, if I were just to clean it all up, put everything all neat order and whatnot, that wouldn't be how it normally is. Why should I pretend? I'm just going to show you how it always is. Trashed out, bunch of wood chips, sawdust everywhere, tools spread out. I got to search to find anything. And that's how it's going to be. That's how it's always been.
Bird said that he was wearing a sign in front, "Let my people go," for the jury duty thing.
Let my what? Like
"Let my people back go."
people back go. Well, I guess that would help you.
Scott
Not get
said,
selected.
"On helping people, I cleaned my disabled neighbor's car. They sure can. I was washing mine and my mom's, so it wasn't no big deal. They appreciate it."
Cool. Thank you, Levi. That's awesome.
Scott.
Scott, gotcha. Thank you,
He
Scott.
also said, "I just installed 3 security cameras on my place because we have had some crazy people.
Yep.
They've
Okay.
been working out great."
Yep. We've got security cameras around our house. We have had for years now.
Yep.
So yeah. Even though we live, kind of away from the craziness, it still finds its way here. So yeah, not taking any unnecessary chances. If I can help it. Yep. Oh, I don't know. What time is it? 5:38. Jeez, I got tons of time here. Tons of time.
45.
I'm sorry, what?
5:45.
5:45. Okay, this clock is a little wrong, but still, there's a ton of time. Oven's almost up to temp. Yep. This would be perfect. Get the chicken cooked, have some food, right? Let's have some miso chicken dinner. And everybody see this movie? Miso chicken. Miso chicken. Oh boy, now I forgot what I was going to say. Okay, yeah, I'll get this chicken going here pretty quick. By the time we eat, I can make some peaches Foster, and it'll be about time.
Well, fast. What ended up happening with the birds and the bees, Mrs. Old Guy? The bees took over their feeder and chased them away every time they get close to it,
Yep.
unfortunately. But they got other feeders, so they're not going to be.
For those of you that don't know what this old guy's talking about, in front of our house we got this hummingbird feeder, and the last 5 days or 6, it's being visited by a whole bunch of honeybees. Even though they chase off the hummingbirds, I don't want to chase off the bees either. So we're just letting them be, and there's other feeders in the backyard for the hummingbirds. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what's happening with that. Come on, Oven. Where are we
Ronald's
at?
here.
I'm sorry, who?
Ronald.
Ronald.
Ronald Reese.
Ronald. Good evening. I hope you're having a good night. I hope you've had a good week. Miso chicken tonight, fried ramen, and peaches Foster for dessert. For those of you that maybe not know what peaches Foster is, I like to dice them up. I've seen them sliced, but some fresh diced up peach. Ah, there's that beet. Fresh sliced up peach, and you cook them in a pan with a little bit of rum and some brown sugar and some peach brandy, and you serve it. You know, get hot, and the brown sugar caramelizes a little bit. It makes this nice, gooey, sticky, yummy kind of sauce. And you dump that over vanilla ice cream. Super good. So that's coming up. The oven beeped, didn't it? They did. Well, what about just...
We had a guy pull a pistol on us on camera. The court gave us a letter. The guy got caught to bring evidence, and we paid the court costs and a lawyer. That's kind of weird.
Who said that?
T-Bird.
Well, that's not close. So they want you to pay to prosecute him? Is that what you're saying? I didn't know Colorado law did it that way.
Well, yeah. They told him to bring evidence, and we paid the court costs and a lawyer. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
Maybe because it's more of a civil suit? I don't know. If he's brandishing a firearm, no, that would... I believe that's a crime.
He said he would have to pay the lawyer and court costs.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
That's one of the stupidest things I think I've heard lately.
He agrees, yeah.
All right. So it seems a little watery compared to what I've seen on the picture. But that's okay. I'm sure some of it will be on there. It smelled okay. Different, but okay.
Oh, it's good.
Me too. I didn't put a whole ton of it in there. So. All right, 400. Let's set this thing for 20 minutes. I got to make sure that it actually starts working. There's been some times where I've burned just blackened some pastries from not making sure that my timer was going and then walking away. Remembering, oh, I've got cinnamon rolls in the oven. You run over and they're just charcoal hockey pucks. You can see a swirl in them. Did that a couple times. All right, I'm going to put some of this stuff away while I can. Might as well. Put that up there. Anything else going this way? I think I'll leave the soy on the table. Probably put a little bit in the fried ramen. Crash! Rice wine. Hey, Mrs. Old Guy, this isn't going too bad.
No?
No? I'm not trashing it out horribly this time.
T-Bird said you can have a gun in public, you have to have it showing, but the dude pulled it out of his pocket.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a crazy world, that's all I can say. They got people doing some crazy stuff, and
Yeah.
not saying I agree with it. Gotta live with it. Well, I guess I don't. Moved up here. Away from it, at least most of it. Glad we don't live in any of the big cities. Now, I will say that when we drove to California last year, drove down to where were we? Venice Beach. Venice Beach. Janice, I do not envy envy that. The highways down there were just crazy. So many different ones, and some of them are called multiple highways, and it's super easy to get confused on which one is the one you want to go where. It's like a big maze of roads and highways. It's like, stop! I just want to get where we're going. That was fun. It was fun. Short, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do it again.
Sounds like fun.
Sounds like fun. This isn't too bad. If you guys want to do a little Q&A, ask me a question. Ask me a silly question. Silly questions are answered here. Please, ask me a silly question. I really want to be asked a silly question right about now. I expect Mrs. Old Guy to see one here any second. A silly question, folks. Give me a silly question. Come on. Silly
Janice
question.
says he got used to it after a while. I've always lived here, so I learned all the relays before I could drive.
Oh, sure. I imagine if you grow up there and it's what you have always lived with, then, you know, it's just natural for you. For us foreigners, wow.
So Scott's got a question for you.
Okay, great.
What was your favorite Halloween costume you wore?
That's not a stupid question, but I'll answer
You
it.
didn't say stupid, you said silly.
Silly, stupid.
Right?
It's about the same thing. But my favorite costume ever. Now you're talking as an adult or as a kid? Because those are two different categories. If it was a kid, it was the Frankenstein costume that my brother Doug made. I think Doug made it. Had my mom sew some extra blue jeans onto the bottom of some blue jeans, and he made some big cardboard feet, kind of like stilts. You know? I guess the closest thing I could maybe give you the image of would be those stilts that drywallers use to reach ceilings and stuff. It wasn't like super tall, but like a foot or two, not 2 foot, maybe a foot and a half. I don't know. That was my favorite costume as a kid. Frankenstein.
More questions?
Oh, do we have a stupid question or a silly question?
I don't know.
Okay. I guess I'll determine.
Crazy Dad says, what did the teacher say to the kid that was staring at the clock on the wall?
What did the teacher say to the kid that was staring at the clock on the wall? I'm afraid to ask. It's a dad joke. Please, tell me. Go ahead. Yep, I know he's got to. You gotta wait. I gotta wait, but I want to know because I there's not an answer that I can like pop into my head. At least not that I would want to say in front of you guys.
Steve's here.
Hi, Steve.
Okay, another question.
Okay, another question.
Scott said both an adult and a kid, but John's asked you, is water wet?
Is water? Oh, now see, there's a silly question. And in fact, that is really a silly question. That is about the silliest question I think I've ever heard, and I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer.
Keepers, Mr. OG, do you know what's crazy?
Do I know what's crazy?
Yep.
No. Probably more than you realize, but go ahead.
Ralph says, okay, for a silly question, have you ever dressed up the dogs?
Have I ever dressed up the dogs? Well, I got a silly answer. Yes. Well, kind of.
T-Bird's, if I can get a duck with lips.
A duck with lips.
Scott said he dressed up his dog as Batman once.
Batman?
Yeah.
We didn't dress him up as any like costumes, like for Halloween, but we did like put some Christmas hats and stuff on them for their Christmas card. You know, had a cool scarf for Chumley and a little like Christmas tutu for Polly.
So the answer to Crazy Dad's question: time will pass, but will you?
Time will pass, but will you?
Did you hear me that Steve said?
Yes, I did. Steve, I did. I think I said hi, Steve.
Okay.
I think I did. Hope you've had a good week, by the way, Steve.
Eli says, how fine are your hen's teeth?
How fine are my hen's teeth? My hen's teeth. My hens ain't got no teeth.
Hens, H-E-N-S? Hens?
Hens?
H-E-N-S.
Hens. Like chicken. Hens.
Yes.
Yes. That's what I said. Chickens ain't got no teeth.
Chicken says, or Chicken says, Scott says, what's the silliest thing you did when you were bored in the military?
Silliest thing I did when I was bored in the military. Oh, I've got the right answer for that. There's a time of year called Flushing, and they celebrate the grape harvest, I believe. And it's before Oktoberfest, but it is in the fall-ish, you know, kind of like September or so. And part of the custom is to wear, I don't want to say necessarily a hat, but some kind of head covering. Hats definitely are included, but you see people wearing all kinds of goofy stuff, including this clown hat kind of thing. It was, you know, the skinhead and the red hair on the side, and with the white eyebrow things, and a rubber nose that kind of just fit over your nose when you put it on. Goofy looking thing. So, there was a group of us in my platoon. We partied together an awful lot, and an album that we listened to was called "I Think We're All Bozos on This Bus." I'm not surprised if you haven't heard it, or of the people that did it, the Firesign Theater. If you have heard of them, kudos to you. If not, they were a comedy team that put out some very strange but funny stuff. And Mrs. Old Guy, where am I going with this? What was it? What was the question? Anyway, so so this, okay, Firesign Theater, I was making a reference to that.
What's the silliest thing you did in the military?
Silly thing, okay. So I put on, my friend Joe had this flashing hat that almost looked like Bozo's head, you know? And I heard my friend Carl, who was one of the guys that we always partied with, he lived off base with his wife and so forth. Anyway, I heard him talking at the end of the hall with me. And I saw that flashing hat that my buddy Joe had. So I put it on. And these horn-rimmed glasses, kind of like Elvis Costello. And I walked around the corner and gave it a good old hi! It turned out that Joe, or Carl, was talking to the lieutenant, the platoon lieutenant, and Carl couldn't contain himself. He ended up on the floor, kind of in the fetal position, just laughing his eyes out. Because the lieutenant was kind of like going along with the fun. He saw me and he goes, well, "When'd you have the operation, Raymond?" and I told him, "Well, first thing this morning, sir. I feel great." That was it for Carl. That was it for Carl.
Gracie's dad wants to know, did you ever fart in public and blame it on someone else?
Blame it on someone else? Not like, you farted. Not like that, but kind of looked at him weird. But I never went. But here's a good one for you. This is a classic. This is old guy and I and our son Brandi. We were shopping. Right? And we were, rolling the cart down the aisle and getting our stuff. And in front of us was this, rather large lady wearing this dress. And her dress was kind of wedged in her butt. So Brandon goes up to this lady and he says, "Hey, lady, I think your ass is hungry. It's eating your dress." Mrs. Old Guy immediately took the cart and went the other way. I was standing there laughing because it was just too funny. And this lady, she was embarrassed as heck, pulled the dress out of her butt. I'll never forget it. That was hilarious.
Eli says, a new tradition, OG Fest.
OG Fest? Yeah. The most boring fest on the planet.
Scott wants to know, was a detox run a real thing on Mondays in the military?
A detox?
Yeah,
run?
his friend said that everyone would go for a long run and sweat out the liquor from partying on the weekend. He said it smelled horrible.
No, not really. Not where I was, anyway.
John wants to know what is Obama's last name?
I believe that is his last name.
Mr. OG, being so old, do you ever trust a part? Peter wants to know that.
Well, I gotta tell you, buddy, my colon blew out on me a couple years back, and almost died from it. But ever since then, it's a dangerous proposition, my friend. Well, actually, before that too, because I've got microscopic colitis, so that'll jack with you that quick. So that's maybe too TMI, huh? What have I got left? A couple minutes. So I'm gonna turn on the water. I'll have to check, make sure it's done. What are you whining at, Chumley? Come here. Come here. Chumley's whining. Come here.
T-Bird says, that's funny, I work in a big hotel in SLC, cleaning the lobby. A lady walked out of the bathroom with her dress. Her dress was stuck in her undies. Yeah, it was eating her dress.
Yeah. Too funny. Chumley's sitting on this chair here staring at me, but he don't want to get up and come in. So I got a treat here for him. Do you want a treat? Do you want a treat?
When I was a kid, I was on a military base and I thought everyone was saluting me. I saluted them all back. There was a lieutenant colonel walking behind me. My parents were laughing.
Speaking of, walking on the military base and an officer and that, one Saturday morning, I was walking with my friend Carl and his wife, and they had this little girl. She was maybe 3 or 4, and we were walking down this pathway going to the PX to get. I don't know what we were going to get, but as we were walking down, we were all in our, Carl and I were in our civilian clothes, and the commanding general, the post commanding general, came walking up, and he was in uniform, so we had to, salute him, uniform or not. And as we're saluting, my friend's little 4-year-old girl is giving him the finger. And he stops for a second and says, "Cute girl." I hadn't thought about that for a long time.
John says, would you dress up in a hospital gown and direct traffic?
Would I direct? I'll tell you what I would do. I would eat, because, no, I wouldn't. I already tried it. My 2020 burrito. I don't know. I'd wear a sundress, my army boots, a cowboy hat, and put a little billboard sign on that says, "I'm a moron," and skip around a city block singing "Mary Had a Little Lamb." How's that? Don't ask me to say that again. Smells good. I'm not sure if it's done.
Yeah, it don't smell so bad actually.
Looks okay, but I'm sure there probably should be more like seasoning on the top. But that's okay. That is okay. Finally broke down and got another thermometer. So I might as well put it to use and make sure that these are indeed done. Sure looks like it. This is cooked. Houston, we have cooked meat.
Okay.
Are you Houston?
No.
I've always wondered. Alright.
Keeper says if he's wearing ladies' underwear, they ain't his.
What about ladies' underwear?
If he's wearing ladies' underwear, they ain't his.
Okay. Lift that up a little bit. Get that rocking. Turn this pan on. Get a little oil going. Get these veg sauteed up a little bit. With some tip. Can you see the chicken? Whoa! Without me putting it on the table. I imagine that some of the juice would be good on top. So.
Scott said his friend told him when he was visiting Florida, there was a guy standing on the divider between the roads. When the light turned, or when the red, he just stood there, and when it turned green, he started dancing. It wants to know, have you ever eaten yellow snow?
Well, I'm going to say yes and no. Sean?
John.
John? I've never eaten the yellow snow, but I have had yellow snow cones, and I believe that was lemon. So I got to answer yes. I've eaten yellow snow. But not where the Huskies go. Let's get that hot ramen. Hot ramen. Just shut that up. Boy, this is hard. Hardly standing. Is that being hot?
Scott wants to know, have you ever gone skiing or snowboarding?
Oh yeah. Yep. A few years back. I guess it's been more than a few years back. I spent one winter season working on the ski lifts in Breckenridge, Colorado. My job was skiing from one ski lift to the other ski lift to give the ski lift operators a break so they could go skiing. How about that?
Eli asked, do you like Rocky Mountain oysters?
Ooh. Let me put it to you this way. I don't like them as much as I used to. Tried some about a year or so ago on my live stream. And, yeah, they were okay, but yeah, they just didn't seem as good as I remembered them. So.
Natalie's back. She goes, I saw a kid eat an alarm clock the other day. It was very time consuming.
Huh? Good evening, Natalie. I hope you've had a good week. All right.
T-Bird said that he walked out of a Starbucks with an $8 cup of Joe. Waiting for the light to change, a car ripped around the corner and flopped 15 cents in his cup.
No, I was just saying earlier today that this old guy and I, or at least that I can remember, I've never been to Starbucks. But then again, I'm pretty simple when it comes to coffee. You know, frappies and cappuccinos and all that stuff, lattes and all that. For me, a cup of coffee, a little sugar, a little milk. I'll take cream if you have it.
John says, have you ever took something out of the oven without an oven mitt?
Yes, I have. But it wasn't hot. But I have taken things out of the oven without an oven mitt. I cannot tell.
Said that he did, but he forgot to turn the oven on.
Yep.
Ralph says you should use some of these ideas as subscriber milestone challenges. I vote getting them to make something using durian fruit.
Well, the thing is for me to try to keep whatever it is I'm eating down. Durian fruit, huh? I haven't tried it. I did get a chance to get a smell of it. And I heard once you get past that and eat it, it's actually really good, but yeah, I couldn't bring myself to eat it.
Scott said, speaking of jobs, I just got one at the post office in
say what? Jobs? Who?
Scott.
Scott.
Starts at the post office on Monday.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Scott. You know, working for the post office, you got some job security. It's going to be there in a while. It's not like the post office is going to shut anytime soon.
Yep. Natalie says her week was okay, but her allergies have been bad today.
Aw. I'm sorry to hear that. Messed up a couple of these bigger chunks.
Scott said that you surprised Belle when you told him that you haven't gone to Starbucks.
Yeah, I did, I think. But, you know, that's why I don't care enough about coffee to spend $5 or $6 on a drink that I may not like or even finish.
Eli says he drinks coffee about twice a year.
I drink coffee a couple times a day, but it's not a whole time.
John wants to know, have you ever done the cinnamon challenge?
The cinnamon challenge. No. I doubt if I will. But I have thought about doing the rainbow milk challenge. But I can't find enough other people that want to do it with me. It's, you know, it's not really a rainbow if it's only one person. So. Rainbow milk challenge. For those of you that have not seen the rainbow milk challenge, just YouTube it and watch a few. It's been done lots of times, lots of ways. Oh yeah, that's looking good.
Natalie says that she loves her Starbucks Frappy, but she only gets it once or twice a month as a reward because it's so delicious.
Nice. But yeah, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with Starbucks. It's just not something that I bother with. Okay, so what am I doing here? Grabbing my noodles and draining them.
Scott said he decided on the post office for the job security, health care, retirement, and it's hard to get let go.
Yeah. Through that, you know.
Eli says that he's more into lemon, ginger, green tea, or his tea.
Woo! You're gonna have to be a lot louder than this little guy.
Eli said that he's into tea, and lemon, and ginger, and green tea are his go-to.
Wow. Nice. Don't think, yeah, I like green tea, okay. I'm more of a, what is that, the black, orange pico, you know, like your Lipton type tea. I like that, okay.
Wild Man wants to know what can you cook with dingleberries?
Uncle, you can cook a dookie pie with dingleberries. As long as they're fresh.
Keeper said that was his $8 joke. He usually charges for that one.
I want my money back. All right, so the ramen's chicken okay-ish.
John says, Tom, would you stand in the way of a F5 tornado?
Would I? No. I wouldn't stand. What do you think? You know, it'd blow me away just like everything else. I couldn't stand against it at all. What a silly question. All right. So, this old guy, what kind of, do you remember what those waffles are called? We had this morning.
Like Liege or L-I-E-G-E?
Leger? Leger?
Yeah, I don't know how to...
Type waffles. Down in the local little town, Paonia. There's a gentleman sells crunch waffles, and they are but the
Liege.
Liege Leger waffles. And they're much different than your standard everyday waffle. Something really different.
Eli said, "Can you make SOS with dingleberries?"
I'm going to say that just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Tracy Dad said, "LOL, just having fun." Wild Man says, "Robert never did eat that cookie pie." LOL.
No, he didn't. I made dookie pie, but the thing is, you got to simulate the dookie, not use actual dookie.
Monster Eats here.
Hey, Monster Heat, formerly known as Caperway. Good evening, my friend. We are just about ready to get to the meat of this thing, and I mean the meat of it.
Scott says, "What kind of coffee do you drink, and do you put anything in it?"
What kind of coffee do I drink? Folgers coffee. And I put in just milk and sugar, cream and sugar if it's available. That's how that rolls.
Yes, Janice, the waffles are the ones with the pearl sugar.
Yes, the pearl sugar, yes. They are really good. Have you had them, Janice? I'm just curious. I think they're really good. Today he had a special. It was a hash brown waffle that had eggs and cheese, sour cream. It was kind of almost like a loaded baked potato waffle with sausage gravy. It was really good.
John says, "Have you ever woken up and didn't know where you were at?"
Yep. I have. Especially on the rare occasion that I would wake up someplace where there was absolutely no light at all at night and I can't see anything. That freaks me out. All right.
Janice said she likes those waffles.
The what?
She likes those waffles.
Oh, yeah. They are that. We haven't had them until recently.
Yep.
Yeah, they're really good. Oh, goody. Well, there's some nice sauce here to put on top of that. Well, that looks good. All right, guys. Let's see if I can give you a look-see. You don't have any kind of silverware because I didn't think ahead, right?
No.
Nope, I didn't think ahead, or no, you don't have any silverware.
Oh.
Both. Okay. So let's give the. Oh, I got a little green onion garnish there. A couple of them. Okay. So, how's that, Miss Olga? Can you see that okay? There's my first attempt at miso chicken. I don't know if I put enough even in to really taste, but I'm going to find out here in just a minute. All right. So, even though she's not here tonight, I thank Brandi.
I'll take my silverware before you walk away.
Oh, I thought you might use your fingers. My name is Horace. I live in a shoe. I play with my duck. All right.
John wants to know, have you ever woken up in a cemetery? He has.
Have I ever woken up in a cemetery?
Yeah.
Mm, no, but I've never really partied in one either. So I woke up in some bushes next to a church. Does that count?
Scott wants to know how Chum and Polly's pregnancy is going.
Well, just fine. She's not really getting too big yet, but by the end of this month, she should be starting to round out a little bit. She is due October 20th, so. All right. Well, let's see if I like miso chicken.
They all said it looks delicious.
Chicken's definitely well done.
Janice says that they have a waffle iron that they can make stuffed waffles. They've made ones that have ham, cheese, and eggs.
Oh, that sounds
With
good.
a canned biscuit dough for the waffle part.
That sounds good. That sounds really good. Oh, come on.
Eli said he once woke up in his room and tried to go home. That was the last time he drank brandy. John says that he would eat that through the phone. Through his phone.
It's a nice flavor. Hey, Mrs. Old Guy. You know what? I made the fried ramen,
Yeah.
but I didn't add anything to it. You might want to put some soy on there. So the miso chicken, it's good. I like it okay. It's definitely a new flavor. I'm glad I didn't put any more in than I did. But it does seem to be I'm not 100% sure that was cooked right there. Sorry for that, folks, but that didn't feel right on the tongue.
Scott wants to know, is there anything for dessert?
Yeah, hang on, let me look at that. A little bit right there. Don't look too done. I'm not going to eat it. Yes, dessert. Peaches Foster for dessert. That's weird because the breast is done. Don't know why that little spot right down there by that little thigh just wasn't quite done. The breast is done.
It's okay, I guess.
Yeah, it's not great. I think it would be better if it had a little sweetness to it.
Scott wants to know, do you prefer white meat or dark?
In general, I prefer the dark meat. For me, like breast meat is a little overrated. It can get dried out real easy. So I just prefer it.
Scott said he's never heard of peaches pasta.
Ooh, stop. Have you heard of bananas Foster? It's very different. Very different. I like it okay. I would probably eat it again. I think if I do make it again, or not if, but when, I'm probably going to add a little bit of sweetness to it. And by that I mean, it might be some brown sugar, but I'm thinking honey would be really good. That's really good.
Eli says honey would have been good.
Just a new flavor. It would take a little bit of getting used to.
says he's never
Oh.
heard of anything Foster, LOL.
Anything Foster.
Natalie's having Chipotle soup.
What kind of soup?
Chipotle?
Chipotle soup. Ooh, that sounds good.
Scott's having chicken stir fry.
Bananas Foster is kind of a flambe, which means flaming dessert. Banana that's cooked up with cognac and brown sugar and butter and brandy. Lit on fire for a second, and then it's scooped over ice cream. So, I'm just making the peach version of that. Ramen's all right. Got a little sauce on it. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Okay, I don't know that I eat it again.
No, you don't care for it that much. No. I think Mrs. Old Guy is going to give miso chicken the 86. Miso chicken. Miso chicken.
He likes his peaches and ice cream are the best.
It is. Almost as good as peaches and cream.
Janice told Scott this year's Knott's has the Bananas Foster funnel cake. She'll be reviewing it in 2 weeks.
Bananas Foster funnel cake. That's interesting. I wonder if they're just going to put it on top. Well, I'll be looking for that video.
John says, have you ever ate raw fish?
Nope. I am not a fan of raw fish, sushi. Nope. I'm not a real big fish eater anyway. I grew up in Colorado, I grew up eating beef, pork, chicken. The only fish I had really growing up was tuna fish, and every once in a while, some trout. So, yeah, seafood wasn't big on our list.
Scott says he always likes when people are honest about their food. I am really critical of the food I cook. I always want to make it better.
Yeah. I try not to be so hard on myself. If it tastes good, I don't care what it looks like, or whatever. As long as there's flavor going on as an end result, I'm happy with that.
Ralph says it looks like he's getting the string quite a bit before the chat messages.
I'm sorry, what?
Ralph said that he's getting the string quite a bit before the chat messages.
That happens, Ralph. That definitely happens.
Yeah, Janice told him that it's in slow mode.
Yeah.
So there's no way.
And I try not to do that. I put like slow-mo mode and then set it for 1 second. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do anything with it. I don't know what. It's just. I am not Mr. Tech savvy, so when it comes to things like that, I don't know. I see slow-mo mode in message can be sent every 60 seconds is what it starts with. So I try to set it to 1 second. Figure, okay, everybody can send a message every second, but I guess I don't know. Maybe that's not what it means.
And sometimes if he's talking, it'll take me a minute to get to what you guys were saying.
Well, there's a time delay anyway
Yep,
between,
like 15 seconds.
yeah, 20, at least 20 second delay between when I say something and when you hear it. I just think it's a thing that YouTube has in case something inappropriate starts happening or whatever. You know, they can shut it off. Kind of like TV, you know. That's why everything's time delayed now. You know, a few seconds.
Eli said that famous Rocky Mountain seafood, LOL.
Yeah, famous Rocky Mountain Sea.
Natalie said that she likes fish, but only if it's fried.
I don't. It's not that I don't like fish. I like fish, just not very often. Fried fish, yeah, like beer battered and fried. Fish and chips, I like that. I think I'm ready to start making some dessert. How about you, Miss Soul Guy? Do you care if I start making some
No,
dessert?
go right ahead. John says, have you ever made a sandwich and you forgot everything on it and not the meat?
Have I ever made a sandwich and forgot to put anything on it? Is that what you just said?
Yep.
Yeah. I've never made a sandwich and just forgot to put anything on it. Now, I've made sandwiches and forgot to eat them, but I haven't made a sandwich with just 2 pieces of bread and nothing in them.
Scott says he's with you. Taste is always important.
What's that?
Scott said that it's right there with you that taste is the most important.
It is.
And he also told John that he worked at a sandwich shop once and delivered a sandwich to the customer. And I came back and there was a pile of meat on the counter. I forgot to add the meat.
That reminded me of my very first job ever. That was flipping burgers at Tasty Freeze. For those of you that know what a Tasty Freeze was, it was just a little burger place. Their big claim to fame was a whole bunch of flavors of milkshake. But, you know, my job was to, you know, cook the burgers and fries and whatnot. And one day a Little League baseball team came in. Actually, 2 Little League baseball team came in. And I got an order for like 63 hamburgers or something ridiculous. So I filled up the grill with hamburger patties and I got a whole bunch of buns ready to go with the ketchup and the mustard and the pickle and the onion and you know, flip burgers, and I started wrapping buns and, you know, sending stuff out. Got about 30 of them out. All of a sudden they started coming back because I forgot to put the hamburger in them. I did have everything else, you know, the condiments. It's not like they got an empty bun. Well, okay, yes it was.
Eli said that he once had the munchies and poured a bowl of cereal, only to find another bowl of cereal he forgot that he poured.
Well, that sounds like you had a pretty blissful evening. Alright, cut this peach in half. Let's get some slices going here, and then I'll dice it up. Alright. Yeah, give them a dice.
says there's a cafe in town here that leaves free food scraps by the door so that people can feed the eels.
Eels?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. As long as it's okay for the eels, I guess. Okay. That's cut. Oh, get a couple. Let's get a little butter. A little bit of butter. I learned that keep this in the fridge at least until the weather cools down. I don't know how many sticks of butter I threw away this summer. Alright, a couple tablespoons anyway. Get it in the pan preferably. Keep going. Alright. Put the butter back. Get some brown sugar.
John says, have you ever woken up by the 12?
Couple times. Couple times.
Eli asked Ralph the eels, and Ralph says the cafe is right by the river, but people aren't allowed to fish there.
Alright. Okay. Feed the eels. There was an amusement park in Denver called Lakeside, right by a lake, huh? And they got the great big carp fish. I mean, huge. People throw popcorn to them all the time. So. All right. Butter's almost melted. It's got to be a tasty dessert. This is old guy.
Yes, it will.
Got the brown sugar at hand. Oh, I got a spin for next week, or week after next.
Okay.
Next week we have one from Natalie, right? Pork chops?
Yep.
And I got something special in mind for that. All right. So let's give the old wheel a spin. If I land on one that's been emptied. Loaded salad. I think that was loaded taco salad, was it not? Or was it just loaded salad?
I think it was just loaded salad.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. Look back in my notes.
salad is salad. So loaded salad tomorrow, not tomorrow. A week from Saturday. A week from next week Saturday. Okay. And that one was my Turtle King. Young man, haven't seen too much of here of late. But it's summertime, or actually school time. So, makes sense that he may not be here. Okay.
Well, it's just loaded salad. That's what it says.
Okay.
By Steve and Turtle King.
Oh, Steve too. Well, Steve, there you go. You both said a loaded salad. Alright, that butter's starting to bubble a little bit. Yummy. Let's get some of the brown sugar in there. So it'll be good.
Lisa's got to go, but she'll see you next week.
Lisa, good seeing you. Thanks for coming, hanging out with old guy. I'll see you next week. Thank you.
Scott says he worked at a hot dog cart outside. I got my apron's ties caught on fire by the space heater because he was so close.
That's not good.
The customer said, "You're on fire." I said, "Thanks, I'm doing good." And he said, "No, you're on fire."
Yeah. No, man, I mean, you are actually flaming on, bro. Where did I do it? There it is. Something to stir this up. brown sugar starting to melt a little bit. Let's get these peaches in there. Whoop. Okay, got the peaches, brown sugar, cinnamon. Oh, that smells really good.
That said he jumped into an ice chest. He didn't notice because he had on a lot of clothes.
Jumped into a what?
An ice chest.
An ice chest.
Yeah, but he didn't notice because he had on a lot of clothes.
But,
Natalie says, nice pork chop.
uh-huh. Like I said, I got something in mind for them pork chops.
Sean wants to know, have you ever ate anything that tasted like sandpaper?
Tasted like sandpaper?
Yep.
Not really. I've had some stuff that had kind of the texture of sandpaper. Okay.
Janice says, are you going to make your bowl for your taco salad?
Well, I gotta first, I guess, determine what a loaded salad is gonna be. And it, you know, salad is salad, so maybe I might. All right, there's a little bit of that peach brandy in there.
Crazy Dad says, for food suggestion, Philly cheesesteak with a side order a jalapeno cream cheese popper.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds really good. This little guy is definitely writing that one down. Oh, they're out. She's writing them all down. Okay. Got some vanilla ice cream here.
Natalie says, would you consider doing a Thanksgiving stream, like cooking Thanksgiving food?
Sure. I absolutely would.
Scott says he loves taco salad. I can make a really good one. Have you ever made a seven-layer beef dip?
Oh yeah. You betcha. That 7-layer dip is awesome. Pretty big, pretty much a staple for football fans. Okay, this is looking good. Still kind of.
Scott asked Crazy Day if he's put those jalapeno poppers in the sandwich. He has.
Ooh, that sounds good. Get this out of the way.
Ralph said that he probably won't be able to make the radio show stream, but he hopes it goes well and he can watch it later.
Well, yeah, Ralph, it's not actually a stream. I will have a premiere. That just means I'm going to hang out. But, yeah, it'll be there to view at any time. Yes, it will. And I do appreciate you coming in and hanging out with me on your Sunday.
John wants to know, have you ever slept in a tree?
Yeah. It's a tree house, but yeah, I've slept in a tree. Yeah.
He says, Raider Nation salutes you, OG.
All right. Now we're getting that real sticky, gooey, caramely kind of appearance. Coming up to the last step here. Got a little shooter bottle here of some, or if you can't tell, it's Kraken spiced rum. I'm going to throw that in here. Probably not quite the whole shooter. Stir that around. Yeah, let's see if I turn off the light. Maybe we can see it. Can you see that, this little guy? I hope you can. There's that flame. I'm going to do it one more time. that rum get hot. Woohoo!
See ya.
Little flambe action going here.
Scott says when I go to the football party, I always make my son a liver dip, and it always is gone before the end of the game.
Oh yeah.
I found the secret is to put taco seasoning in the sour cream also.
Oh, that's a good idea. That is definitely a good idea.
That
Man,
smells really good.
it does. It smells absolutely amazing. So you could finish this off with like a little whipped cream, maybe a mint sprig, but there's that dessert, Peaches Foster. Can you see that in this order? And that sauce on that ice cream is just amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Pull my chair back over. Now that it's dessert time, I gotta wait for Mrs. Old Guy to tell me how good it is before I'll take a bite.
Yum.
Ha ha ha. She says yum. Peaches Foster.
Delicious.
That is just amazing. So simple. You saw how long it took? The peaches soften up a little bit, but they're not like fully cooked. So they still have some nice chew to them. The flavor.
Yep.
Man.
Scott says that looks so good, my mouth is watering. All the children's looking at you like, where's mine?
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Oh yeah, this is really good. That spiced rum really adds a nice flavor to that. The peach brandy is good in there because that augments the peach flavor. That rum on the top.
Natalie says that dessert looks so good. It is. Really good.
Delicious.
Is it too late for her to come for dinner?
Nope. Not at all. Mm-mm. By the time you get here, dinner will be ready. May not be miso chicken. Miso chicken. Miso chicken.
Scott says random, but do Chumley and Polly snore?
Yes. Absolutely do. Come here. Come on. Hey, I got a treat. Come here. Come on. Come on. Chumley. Come here. Come on. Come here.
John wants to know, have you ever been skydiving?
Come on. No, I haven't, John. I'd like to sometime, but Hey, Chumley. Come here.
Oh, he says, I want that tree.
You don't get that. How did that get down there? Come here. Come on. Come on. Okay. There you go. Here's your treat. Here you go, Polly. You want a treat? She don't mind ABC treats. For those of you that don't know, ABC, already been chewed. Oh, yes.
months' time, he'll have music ringing out over the sea.
Awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
What a great project, Ralph. That's awesome. See, and that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. And I mean, give back to your community. Oh, man.
Scott said, "Oh, I'll hold the bowl in front of you. He wants a taste of it. The taste test."
I wish I could explain more. The combination from that brown sugar that's almost caramelized, and a little bit of cinnamon and the rum on top. That's so good on these peaches.
Eli says that he'll go skydiving when he can do it from the ground.
Yeah.
Scott says ABC treats. Never heard of that.
Yeah. When my son Richard was young, we stopped at McDonald's and picked up hamburgers, and we were driving down the road. Richard was eating his hamburger, and he took a bite, chewed it up some, and then he stopped and he looked at me and he pulled it out, and he's holding this chewed up bite of McDonald's hamburger, and he said, "Hey Dad, you want some ABC meat?" I politely declined. No, already been chewed meat.
Crazy Dad says, "Hey Tom, how did you like Chef Buddy's cooking skills in the kitchen?"
Hey man. Nothing says you gotta have any kind of degree or piece of paper that says you know how to cook up some mean foods in the kitchen. So, keep it coming. Absolutely. I think the stuff you make is great. Some of it's kind of pretty unique too, so I think you need to keep it rolling. Let's finish this dessert.
Janice told Rob to record it and to put it on YouTube. That would be really cool.
Yeah, it would. That would be a great idea, Ralph. Oh. Wow. I really enjoyed that. Pretty tasty. Gentleman wants it. You can't have it.
You're begging.
You can't, yeah, he's begging. Polly will get an extra treats between now and when she has her babies. Some cheese and yogurt, things like that. Help Mama with the puppies. Not a lot, just a little bit of extra. Helps her out. And
John wants to know, would you ever eat McDonald's food for 24 hours?
Sure. Well, if by that you mean eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then breakfast again, sure. I would do that. Why not? But to try and sit there and eat McDonald's food for 24 hours, I don't think anybody could do that.
Crazy Dad said, "Thanks, Tom, LOL."
Hey man, like I said, cooking is not rocket science. It's just a little bit of practical use or practical doing. Do it, cook a few times. After a while, you start to know what works together and what doesn't. what flavors taste good together and what flavors taste terrible together. I don't know how many times trying to make something different. Foods hit the trash. Yeah, that was awful.
Ralph told Janice that he might have to get somebody else to film it because they'll have to manage to do that.
Well, still, have somebody, film it for you and post it on it. Make you a YouTube channel. Sure don't cost nothing. And, get her posted. I thought about doing a TikTok account, but it turns out I guess there's a 10-minute limit, a time limit on TikTok videos, so that won't do. My first George and Pudgy episode is 45 minutes. I'm not going to chop it up into a whole bunch of different little 10-minute segments.
Scott says, did you ever see the movie Super Size Me where the guy ate McDonald's for 30 days? I did. And I also saw, what's that comedian's name? I want to say Doug. I can't remember his last name. Where he did Super Stone Me. Pretty funny. All right, well, folks, it is getting to be that time where I'm going to ask you for your last-minute comments and so forth. And, as always, any last-minute dinner suggestions. We got some this week, and that is outstanding. So, if you got some more, got something in mind, let's get them out there. I got a wheel to keep full, so and that's it. If you got something else you want to comment on or ask me about, please do. This is a good time for it. Before I kick on out of here, and I'm gonna say one more time, my first ever episode or attempt at a radio, theater, or audio program will premiere this coming Monday at 7 p.m. Colorado time. Eli says those raw oysters and chocolate syrup will be delicious.
When I get a substantial amount of subscribers, I might try that. But I've tried raw oysters before. To put it nicely, it was like swallowing a big booger. Yuck. I like oysters cooked, okay, but I really don't care for them raw. No, I never have seen the appeal. Yuck. So, are you getting another suggestion, Mrs. Old Guy?
No, I'm writing down what Ralph's saying about this Carolina.
Ah, okay.
He said you can check it out on YouTube by looking up Kimmy Carolina. So
Okay.
write that down.
I think I jacked up the lid on this little bottle of Kraken. I'll show you guys real quick before I get out of here.
Scott says great stream as always. Have a good week. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. Really, this little bottle of Kraken. Can you see that? Is that too? How's that? Can they see that? Kind of. Kraken. It's got.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see.
Kind of hard to see. It's got. Yeah. Anyway, they're Kraken. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. As always, I'm gonna ask you, get out, help in your community, do something for somebody, and I'll see you next week. Pork chops. Right. Y'all take care. I'll see you then. Bye now.